Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Apple. Apple and Amazon released their earnings this week, and it was a big deal for the economy because if the Apple numbers are not strong, then that could be bad news. But if they are strong, it could mean that we've got some strong tailwinds kind of moving forward. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under the B1 condition. B1 means we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means that we educate our kids. Black first means we break generational curses. We do not continue them. If you believe in this philosophy, if you are with me on improving our community, improving our approach to wealth, making ourselves into better people, then put a B1 in the chat, put a B1. Also shout out your city. Let me know what city you're coming from. Okay, everybody. So I've got some interesting information for you today. I'm going to break down some stuff going on in this stock market for you. And also, if you hang on to the end of the video, I will give you a profit alert for this week. If you'd like to get profit alerts from me on a regular basis, if you'd like for me to text you stocks that I love, all you have to do is text the word stock to 31996. Text stock to 31996, and I will send you profit alerts. I will send you a stock or two or three each week that I believe in terms of long-term investments for your family, because I want to see you get wealthy. I want to see you succeed. Put the name of your city in the chat too. Also, let me know if you can hear me okay. I assume you can hear me. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me all right, because I want to make sure my audio is coming through okay. I'm over here in Denmark right now. I was in Iceland for 5 days, and now I'm in Denmark for a few days. And if you're wondering what I'm doing a European tour with my girls, taking my daughters around the world, and we're going to also do some trips to Africa. The Black Business School next year, we're going to take some group trips out of the country to various places, because I believe that everybody needs a passport. I believe that all of you need to make sure that you're traveling, that your kids are traveling, that your baby mama's traveling. I ain't judging, whatever it is that you got to do. Make sure you understand that the world has countries out here other than the United States. And I don't know if anybody else has ever noticed this. When you travel to other countries, you go to other places and they just live different. They have a different connection to economics and so in capitalism and everything else. I could tell you the parts of Europe and Iceland and stuff that I saw are just much cleaner. I don't know. It's interesting. I encourage you just to go outside of the country, and you'll find that the United States, while we are incredibly good at making money, we're not so good at living quality lives. I think that that's something that I've observed, and I just want to encourage you to explore that, because I think that'll benefit you. So you guys can hear me okay? All right, good, because I never know what the Wi-Fi situation is going to be like in these hotel rooms. So hopefully it won't be bad. So I want to say hello to G Love. I see you in Liberty, Texas, birthplace of Bobby Seals. Did not know that. I met Bobby Seals one time at Kentucky State University. Very nice guy. He was doing something with barbecue, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very smart guy. Craig Morton, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. I see you. Jurgen Johnson, San Bernardino. Carl out of Connecticut, Center for Possibilities, Dallas, Texas. Demetrius Hughes, good to see you. I saw my brother El Haj in here. El Haj comes in here first or second all the time. And so it's good to see everybody. All right, so let's get started. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. Also, if you'd like to get profit alerts sent to you via text, all you got to do is text the word stock to 31996 and hang on to the end of the video, and I'll give you the profit alert for today. All right, so here's what I was noticing and paying attention to. The first thing I want to talk about is the earnings reports for Apple and Amazon were coming out today. That's a very big deal. These two companies are massive components of the S&P 500, and because they're such big pieces of the S&P 500, they are considered economic bellwethers. That the status of these companies determines, what's going to happen with the economy, where we're going next, whether a recession is going to happen or not. And so the results kind of came in, and they end up kind of being mixed, but they weren't tragically bad. but they weren't extraordinarily good, in my opinion. One thing I noticed with Amazon is that they're making just a ton of money with their online ad business. They're starting to get into advertising online. That's what a lot of these companies do. They build a big platform, get a lot of subscribers or customers, and then they start running ad networks. And Amazon made 10.6 billion in sales in the second quarter. That's a 22% jump from the previous year, same period. The company said while reporting its latest financial results, Amazon's overall sales grew 11% year over year to 134 billion in the second quarter. So Amazon sold 134 billion dollars worth of stuff in the second quarter. So if you ever want to kind of understand, the difference between or what economic racism looks like and the difference between white-owned businesses and black-owned businesses, you tell me a black-owned business that can say we had $134 billion worth of sales in the last quarter, the last year, the last decade. There is no black company. There is no company like that. Yet there are tons of white companies that sell billions of dollars worth of stuff every year. And this is part of the economic racism that frustrates me, which is why I think it's very important that we support black-owned businesses and learn how to sort of shift our economic culture. And also we get the reparations we deserve, because some of these corporations should be part of that reparations package. That's just me being extra black right now and kind of jumping in on this. All right, so it's one thing about Apple that's interesting is that Apple has this relationship. Let's talk about Apple for a second. Apple has been a great stock for the most part. I can show you charts where if you had bought Apple stock a few years ago, it would have made a ton of money for you. Apple stock is kind of a staple. We've talked about that on this platform in terms of how much money people have been able to make by owning Apple, just literally buying it and sitting on it. Warren Buffett, has damn near tripled his investment in the last 6 years alone, and there's so much money to be made. Now, the big question about Apple is whether or not Apple is a company that is going to continue to go up, or if it's a company that might be a little bit overbought, if the multiples are a little too high. If you look at Apple now, the freaking company's worth $3 trillion. That's insane. That's an insane market value, right? $3 trillion. Look at that. And you can see here on this chart, this stock could have been bought very, very cheaply, back in 2007. If somebody had just done, again, we like to make the financial stuff complicated, like it's really hard to make money. It's not really hard if you know where to look. And so if a person has simply said, every time I buy an iPhone, I'm going to buy the same amount of Apple stock, that person, would have made a ton of money, would have made an absolute killing. And if you look here, you can see their path to 3 trillion. It's not a real complex set of products that they've offered. They have the iPod here in the early 2000s, the launch of the iPhone in 2007. And then they went into the Apple Watch, which is 2015. The iPad was launched in about 2010. Then the AirPods in 2016, and then the M1 Max. I don't know what an M1 Mac is. I don't have one of those. I'm not going to get one. I'm a PC guy. But you can just see where they just, have been able to sort of slowly chug their way up to the top, not by offering a ton of products, but by offering a few products and just doing it extremely well. Now, one thing about Apple, though, is they have this relationship with Goldman Sachs. Has anybody seen the Apple savings account? How many of you have tried the Apple savings account? Give me a yes if you've even considered it or tried it or kind of messed around with it. Well, the Apple savings account is something that Apple's betting really big on. Apple is going deeply into the financial services sector. They want to kind of replace your bank. From what I'm reading, it almost sounds like they want to do a lot of things that banks tend to do, like make loans and do credit checks and things like that. And according to Barron's, they actually their customers put $10 billion into Apple savings accounts all in one quarter. But Goldman Sachs, the company that they partner with, is basically saying, we don't want to do this anymore. They're saying, to some extent, they're saying, look, we want to get out of this business with you. The consumer banking sector has not been a big win for Goldman Sachs. And I've actually been an investor in Goldman Sachs. And so I know a little bit about their CEO, David Solomon, and it's not a bad company. But Goldman is a company that, unfortunately, Solomon gets a lot of heat from the other board members because they sort of feel like his move into consumer banking was not well thought out, and that they can't just sort of, and this is a lesson in business. Don't ever get to the point where because you won a couple of games, you think you can win every championship. Never get to the point where you think that because you've sold $1 million worth of something over here that you can just instantly take that success everywhere you go. Remember, 86% of all black-owned businesses fail. And I say this a lot because people don't understand. People will assume that if you start a business and it fails, that means you did something wrong, you made a mistake, or you're a loser, or you're a fraud. And I don't think that's true. I know that's not true. I invest in a lot of Black-owned businesses, and most of those businesses don't make it. And so, if you're lucky enough to be in that 14% that actually do succeed, a lot of times it's better to just keep drilling where you know the landscape than it is for you to try to just jump into all these new territories that are going to end up messing you up. O Jones, you asked, do I think a firm is going to go up with Amazon? No, I don't. I don't. I don't get me wrong. There might be a correlation. I'm sure that there is. A firm is deeply invested with Amazon, but a firm is not a company that I invest in because I think it's great stock. It's great. I like it. For those of you that are in the Prime program, Dr. Boyce Prime, where we talk about generating income from your portfolio, you'll know that a firm is one of those stocks. I generate a lot of money every week from a firm, just selling the options on a firm. I sell the premium. I'm not one to hold on to the premium. I just sell it to people that want to get. And it's been a good moneymaker for me. So I like a firm for that reason. Remember, when you invest, you're not investing for the same purpose every time. Each time you invest, you might have a different reason. I think long term, you want to have 2 or 3 different portfolios that have different objectives. So I have my long term, get old retirement portfolio. I have my middle term strategic portfolio that I use for midterm investments like real estate, things like that. And then I have my income generating portfolio, right? So there's different objectives, and you kind of have to figure out who you are and what your style is going to be. All right. So anyway, do me a favor, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching the Black Financial Channel, and also hit the notification bell to be notified when we go live. I have 137,000 subscribers here, but I don't think they notify everybody when we go live. I don't know why. I don't know how these YouTube algorithms work. I'm actually going to start a Telegram group soon. I think a Telegram group would be cool, so that we can make sure we can reach everybody when it's time to go live. We're kind of divesting out of platforms like YouTube and Instagram and trying to look for places where we can reach everybody, and the audience is ours. And we actually have a social media platform called Blag Enough, but I'm still debating as to whether or not I want to continue to invest heavily in Blag Enough, because we have one problem over there, which is lots of bots and spam and people that come in. But I know you guys are there. I know you exist. I know you want to be a part of what we're doing. We literally put out one job posting the other day to the email list, and we had 150 applicants in 24 hours. So I appreciate all of you that want to be a part of what we're building here at the Black Business School. We can't hire everybody, though, and we're doing our best. We're doing our best to raise money and make things happen. So any support that you have, anything you want to do with us, and you want to educate your kids with us, whatever it is, just know our long-term goal is to develop. So anyway, if you want to get free stuff from me, just text the word stock to 31996 and you'll get profit alerts text to you. And also I will send you our $5 a day investing plan, which is a long-term wealth building plan for anybody of any income level. Even if you're in poverty, I can make you wealthy in less than a generation. It's very easy to do. And then also I'll send you a list of AI stocks that I love. And I'll also send you a training I did on how to make money without working. So so Goldman Sachs basically is trying to get out of the deal. And according to this article I'm reading, is it from Entrepreneur Magazine, they said that Goldman Sachs wants to cut ties with Apple as it scales back on consumer businesses, and it might strike a deal with American Express to make it happen. The payment card company could take over the Apple credit card and other related projects, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier this summer. Currently, the Apple savings account is available to holders of the co-branded Apple credit card and offers a 4.15% yield. Let's see. Now, remember though, the goal with Apple is, if they can get you to save your money on their platform, that means that they can sell you products on their platform. They can get you to sign up for memberships on different apps and things like that. So I would not sort of dig into this idea that somehow Apple is doing this wonderful thing for you by giving you 4.15%. If they're giving you 4.15% in interest, they're probably seeking to sell enough products to you or to get you to use their credit card enough that they end up making more than what they actually give away. That's how banking works. You pay out less than what you receive. So if you move in, just be thoughtful about what you use it for and the way you move. Now, before I get to the profit alert, the stock that I like right now, I'm going to read a couple more thoughts in terms of what's going on with the economy right now. Right now, you have a lot of conversation about the U.S. government's long-term bond credit score going down from AAA to AA plus. I talked to you guys about that the other day. The decline in the U.S. credit score, so to speak, Most experts don't believe that it's really impactful. Warren Buffett just thinks it's kind of a joke. A lot of people think it's a joke. And one area where I'll tell you that you may want to consider what they're saying. I know that we all have concerns about the economy. I mentioned some of my concerns, which is too much debt, and you've got children running the government. You've got people running the government who don't really care about the country. In my opinion, they're not very fiscally responsible. But putting that to the side, you do have just so much economic strength, and there are countries that depend on the United States financially, depend on the United States in terms of military, who have a higher credit rating than we have, and that doesn't make any sense. If I'm paying the bills for my kids, why would you give a higher credit rating to my kids than you give to me? That's crazy, right? So a lot of people are not taking it seriously, and to whatever extent you see any pullback, this might be an opportunity to dig in and invest a little bit, and buy some stocks that might have been temporarily underpriced. Now, one thing about Apple and its recent earnings report, which everyone was sort of waiting for, is that they, according to CNN Business, they said Apple sales have fallen for the third consecutive quarter. It says here that Apple said Thursday that its revenue slipped 1% to 81 billion. Think about this. These are white people problems, right? Their revenue slipped to 81 billion for the quarter. This isn't for the year. This isn't for the decade. This is for the quarter. So multiply that by 4. Let's see. This is the third consecutive year-over-year drop in quarterly revenue for the world's most valuable company. There were some bright spots, however. The company said its services revenue reached a new all-time high of 21.2 billion. So Apple's making a lot of its money from its services: Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, etc. Now, again, the savings accounts feed into that. If they get you in there and you have your savings, in an Apple card, then you have the Apple credit card and all that stuff, then it makes it easier for them to connect with you financially in various ways. iPhone revenue came in at 39.7 billion for the quarter, marking a 2% year-over-year decline. Mac revenue was 6.8 billion for the quarter, a 7% drop. iPad revenue was down 20%. Shares of Apple ticked down by more than 1% in after-hours trading Thursday, but the stock has climbed some 50% from the start of the year. In a statement accompanying the earnings results, CEO Tim Cook touted the rosy services figure and strong performance in emerging markets. Quote, "We are happy to report that we had an all-time revenue record in services during the June quarter, driven by over 1 billion paid subscriptions, and we saw continued strength in emerging markets thanks to robust sales of the iPhone." So Apple's so interesting to me because you see this company that is just a global behemoth. How many do you own Apple stock? Has anybody bought any Apple stock? If you're buying iPhones and stuff, I hope you'll consider buying some stock to go with your iPhone. It looks really good with your iPhone. And even Goldman Sachs is not a terrible investment. I think Goldman Sachs just has some managerial challenges right now. But here's a picture of Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon at Howard University. Where they recruit a lot of and this is one thing you got to think about in terms of Black economics. You have if you look at these and you consider these to be our best and brightest African Americans, they're all kind of lining up to try to impress this very nice Jewish man, in hopes that this very nice Jewish man will give them a wonderful job, when maybe some of these guys are just as smart as David Solomon, right? Maybe they have just as much potential. The challenge is that they are obviously undercapitalized in terms of money, right? They can't, Solomon and his buddies, they were able to raise billions of dollars to create that company. It hasn't always been that way, but that's what they had to build, right? They had to create that. But then the other challenge is that these Howard students, I'm willing to bet you, are probably undercapitalized in terms of skill set. I doubt very seriously that most of them even have the basic skill to even know what it means to create a company from the ground up, right? Because developing a business from the ground up is hard. It's complex. It's about more than just like taking a class or something like that. It requires a lot of tools that involve things like not just skill and strategy, but emotional intelligence, relationship building, group decision making. The ability to maintain and repair relationships with other people, right? You start your great company with a bunch of people and you can't get along, then the company's gonna fall apart. Like one example is my friend Ice Cube. Ice Cube. Anybody remember when Ice Cube had that great group called West Side Connection? How many rap fans we got? Any hip hop fans remember Ice Cube and West Side Connection? Not nah not nah 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 nah. Remember Nate Dogg and all that, and Dub C and what was it? That was C-Mac. Is that his name? He was dating my cousin T-Boz. T-Boz from TLC. Anybody remember the whole West Side Connection group? Well, anyway, that was a group that was doing really well. They were making millions of dollars. Like they were loved. They really, Ice Cube, Mac 10. Thank you, Mac. That says C-Mac. It's Mac 10. I got to mix it with Craig Mac. Sorry about that. Yeah. So think about this, and this is real life. This is business 101. So basically, something happened between those three guys, and they broke the group up. And every time people say, "Well, when are you gonna have a reunion? You got to bring West Side Connection back," and it gets to the point where Ice Cube is like, "No, like no, I don't want to do it." Well, why would you not want to do it? Everybody loves it. There's demand. They sold out arenas, all kinds concerts and everything else. Yeah, T-Boz is my cousin. Her name is Tiana Watkins, and we our grandfathers are brothers. Her grandfather's name is Sam. My grandfather's name is Matt. And in fact, Sam and Mac got into a fight over money like literally 60 years ago and stopped speaking to each other. This is how money affects Black families. This is what happens when you're talking about all the trauma that we experience. This is why in the Black Business School, my wife and I got together and we said we need a Black financial therapy department, because there's none out there that we've seen. We haven't seen any academic department that focuses on the financial therapy needed by Black people to really learn how to build and maintain the relationships that will generate wealth. You have a lot of psychological barriers that stop you from creating anything. Just look at how much destructive energy you see in your own families, your own communities. You got sisters and brothers out here, literally siblings, that are killing each other, that are fighting each other, that are jealous of each other, right? Parents that won't support their kids, competing with their kids. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I don't know, is anybody else seeing this, or is it just me? And you see it spill over into the internet, where even the ability to address a Black-owned business that you're not happy with, just that whole protocol of I'm going to completely discredit and destroy that business. That right there is problematic, because I've rarely seen Black people get together, unify, and discredit and destroy a white-owned business. I haven't seen that. When Wells Fargo was stealing all kinds of money from Black people, I didn't see anybody put Wells Fargo out of business. Wells Fargo's still making billions of dollars a year from Black people. When Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is making $3 or $4 billion a year off of Black people, and then another 20 or 30 billion a year off of people that are in in other communities. Nobody's really calling him out about that, right? So ultimately, and it looks like my good friend JT the Pocket Watch is here. He says, "Boyce, I see, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this energy. It's crazy. I'll say this once and one time only. Keep my name out your mouth, or I'll slap you upside with that PhD on your wall." Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why I gotta put up with this nonsense? Let me go ahead. I released this brother from the chat. I will tell you, I think that it is unhealthy. I think it's so unhealthy, and I think that as Black people, I think that we should think about this. Right? My book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. That's one of the things I talk about extensively. I spend a lot of time in the book talking about culture, and I got this from kind of studying families in other communities that are able to build wealth, and I then turn around and look at my own family, in my own culture, in my own community, and I say, how in the world can you build anything with this kind of chaos? Does anybody get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse. But I have to. But this horse, in fact, beating a dead horse will never bring it back to life. So I'm not beating the horse. You've got the dead horse on the ground, and you're pretty much just on the autopsy and studying why the horse died. Right? Like, you have to study why the horse died, and then you have to go look at the horse's children and say, let me tell you why your parent died. And then you have to do something better, right? So I would encourage you to, as Black people, we all need to sort of process what's going on with our community. We have to look at our families, and we have to think about just whether or not this is working, right? So, because you look at this picture right now, you got David Solomon, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, who's standing around a bunch of Black youth, and he's coming into the Black community and recruiting the best and brightest Black people who should be running billion-dollar companies. This is the Jackie Robinson photo to me. This is a guy who has an institution that sees how great we are, but we don't see how great we are. So rather than rallying around these young people and putting them in positions of power and success, um, I don't know if they would get the love and support that they deserve from their own people. So give me a yes if you follow what I'm saying. Let's move on to the next topic here. All right. So thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching the Black Financial Channel. This is theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, uh, and I'm a finance professor. And also, I believe in Black wealth and Black economics. And if you want to go grab a copy of my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, you can do so at my website, boycewatkins.com. And I want to remind everybody we have the All Black National Convention, which is the largest gathering on earth of intelligent Black people. It's going to happen in Atlanta, October 20th through the 22nd. So you are welcome to join us if you'd like to come on out. We have about 40 experts that are coming together, all for the sake of helping the Black community. And also my wife, by the way, she is a therapist, and she's doing a healing retreat. She's a certified trauma professional, full professor of social work, and she's doing a digital healing retreat that actually starts on the 5th. So a little bit more than 24 hours from now. You can get a discount, actually, if you want to join the retreat. You can go to draliciawellness.com. This is where you dig into some of the trauma you've experienced and learn specific tools that will help you overcome that trauma so that you will then be able to find your success wherever it may be. You'll be able to find yourself, form the right relationships, protect those relationships, and build on those relationships. So if that's of interest to you, then feel free to go to draliciawellness.com. All right, so let me go ahead and talk about the profit alert for today. Let me get my wife off the screen. She's so pretty, it distracts me. I can't sit and look at that lady all day. Just my goodness. And Black women, y'all are all beautiful. I just, I don't understand these guys that won't marry a Black woman. You don't know what you're missing. All right, so here's my profit alert for today. This is a stock that I like. This is a great long-term investment. It is UnitedHealth Group Incorporated. UnitedHealth Group Incorporated. Let me see the ticker. The ticker symbol is UNCH. UNCH. So UnitedHealth Group Incorporated. I've done some research on this stock, and I like it. I like it. Now, again, wait, hold on. Wait, sorry. I said UNCH. Forgive me. It's UNH. UNH. That's Uniform November Harriet. It's not. I'm trying to do the phonetic alphabet because y'all know I'm training to be a airplane pilot, and I should know what the H is. What's the H in the phonetic alphabet? Hotel. There we go. So it's uniform. Sorry, Uniform November Hotel. That's the ticker. UNH. Thank you, Michelle. And so again, nothing's guaranteed with investing. Remember, there's always risk. Things can always go wrong. There's no guarantees in any of this. However, there is such a thing as calculated risk, and calculated risk means that you have an opportunity to at least be in a position so that if the stock does what I think it could do, you're going to benefit from that. And also, just to let you know a couple things about United Health, it's a company that engages in the provision of healthcare coverage, software, and data consultancy services. It operates through the following segments: United Healthcare, Optum Health, Optum Insight, and Optum RX. The United Healthcare segment utilizes Optum's capabilities to help coordinate patient care, improve affordability of medical care, analyze cost trends, manage pharmacy benefits, work with care providers more effectively, and create a simpler consumer experience. The Optum Health segment provides health and wellness care, serving the broad healthcare marketplace, including payers, care providers, employers, government, etc. Okay, so there's not much more. It was founded in 1977 by Sir Andrew Philip Whitty. They have 400,000 employees. And let's see, I'm looking to see what else I see here with this stock. Here are some of the reasons why people believe the stock is going to go up. Every stock has what they call a bull case and a bear case. It's like analyzing a basketball game. You might have two analysts that say, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win, and here's why. And then you might have another analyst that says, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to lose, and here's why, right? So the bulls say that United Healthcare has managed its balance sheet more conservatively than peers, giving it more flexibility in a potentially changing regulatory environment. As the leading provider of Medicare Advantage plans in the U.S., United Health's growth should benefit from ongoing demographic shifts and the increasing popularity of these plans among beneficiaries. UnitedHealth's strategy of providing medical insurance, pharmacy benefits, and healthcare services creates a powerful alignment of incentives that should help clients control their healthcare costs better than pure play competitors. The next, now here's the bears say. This is the downside. Remember, every stock has a bull case and a bear case. Now, the bears are saying this. So you should listen to both sides of every debate, right? Like if you're a Democrat, you should listen to Republicans. If you're a Republican, you should listen to Democrats because they're both right and they're both wrong. The law of large numbers may eventually catch up to this healthcare behemoth, making it mid-teens earnings growth goal difficult to achieve in the long run, meaning that their earnings growth expectations may be a little bit too high. The insurance and the PBM industries, I don't know what PBM is, I got to look that up, will likely remain targets of regulators aiming to increase health coverage and reduce the healthcare cost burden on society until universal affordable coverage is achieved. So what they're basically saying is something that most of you know, that these healthcare companies charge too much, and they believe the regulators are going to reduce the cost of healthcare. How many of y'all believe that your government officials are going to step up and reduce the cost of your healthcare? How many of y'all believe that? How many of you think that your wonderful, loving politicians are going to step up and just make America what it should be? I'm in Europe right now. You'd be amazed how much stuff they get for free that we got to pay for. And I'm gonna tell you like this too. In Iceland, it was clean. The people were nice. It was comfortable. I mean, it was expensive now, so that's one thing you got to work. So if you ever go to Iceland, bring your big wallet because it ain't cheap. But I'm telling you, capitalism is powerful, but unfortunately, it's created a lot of wealth inequality in America. So, long story short, United Healthcare is a stock that I really like. The price is 504.86. You do not have to buy a whole share, though. Don't forget that. You don't have to pay $500. You can literally buy $20 worth of that stock, and it's just as good. It's just as good. So don't worry, Mandel, about the price point, right? $50 or $100. There's no difference between a stock that sells for $50 a stock that sells for 100 in a theoretical sense. And what I mean by that is think of it like a pizza. Think of it like a pizza. What if I gave you a pizza and I said, I'm going to cut this pizza into 4 slices and you're going to get 25% of the pizza, right? And then let's say I say, no, I changed my mind. I'm going to cut the pizza in 300 slices. So all the slices are going to be really tiny, but you're going to get 25% of the pizza. Are you going to have more pizza or less pizza than before? What do you think? What do you all think? More or less? Or is it the same? It's the same. Remember, when they pick a stock price, it's just literally slicing up a pizza. A company doesn't become more valuable just because you have more slices or fewer slices, okay? So, and remember this, you have the ability to buy what they call fractional shares. Fractional shares, like on Robinhood, I literally right now, let me double check, make sure I ain't telling you no stories right now. I could go to Robinhood and the shares are $500 each, right, for UnitedHealth. I could go to Robinhood and I could buy based on dollar amount. And I could just say, I think I want $30 worth of UnitedHealth. And I could buy it just like you buy Bitcoin. You could literally buy it just like you buy Bitcoin. I could buy $30 worth of a $500 stock. And that's just the same as if I bought 6 shares of a $5 stock. You understand? So a lot of times we feel better because we buy a stock that has a lower price. Like I see a lot of people leaning toward the $2 and $3 stocks or the penny stocks or whatever. But I'm just telling you, don't let our sometimes our economic self-esteem can be a little low where we say, gosh, I don't have a whole lot of money and, I need to aim for the cheap stocks. Well, unfortunately, sometimes those penny stocks are really bad investments, horrible investments. And the way America is shaped is they take advantage of the hopes and dreams of people that are struggling economically by making you think that you can get in the game cheap and get really lucky and make a whole bunch of money because your $1 stock became a $3 stock. That just really isn't how it works. Most of these penny stocks are just not good investments. Sometimes they are. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but you got to look for good companies. And when I say good companies, I'm not even talking about companies that make money. I'm talking about companies that have stocks that look like they have room to grow. Okay, and so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish with that point. I want to mention a couple of things. if you have a church group or any type of group that would like for me to come in and do a training with your group, I train churches and organizations all the time on either stock investing or stock options, or I can do a training on my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, like I did in Seattle. We'll work with you. We'll partner with your organization. If you find a good venue that will seat 100 people classroom style, and you pay the deposit, which is $5,000, we will then market the event on our platform. Like, I'll tell everybody I'm coming so that people will reach out to you and want to buy tickets, and you can turn that into a profitable event. So if you're interested in doing that with your church, your organization, your investment club, just send an email to manager@boycewatkins.com. That URL is on the screen. Also, the podcast is on Spotify. So if you want to follow me on Spotify, you can. And last but not least, if you'd like to get the Dr. Boyce profit alerts sent to you via text, just text the word stock to 31996. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to also later on tonight, I actually kind of, you know, I like to have fun. I see business lessons everywhere. I see economic lessons everywhere. And there was this interesting lawsuit with Lizzo that spurred a lot of thoughts, and I can't help it. I just see the business lessons in there, because remember, business is culture, wealth is culture, and so I think I'm going to analyze that on drboycetv.com later on tonight. So you may want to join me over there if you're interested. This is the Black Financial Channel. As you know, we have several channels that we keep and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I'm out of here. God bless you. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up. Share, subscribe. And I wish you the very best in all your investing. I hope you and your family have a tremendous amount of wealth and success. And you will hear from me soon. So just text the word stock to 31996. You'll get the profit alerts, and I'll let you guys know when I have another one. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Peace.